Honourable Member of Unggai-Bena.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Give me time to ask him question without notice to the good and hardworking Minister for State Enterprise. There's currently construction of towers for the transmission of high voltage power line between Mount Hagen and Yonki Dam. There is a general resentment from some of our people that may jeopardize this important project because of the assumption that power will be transmitted from two assumptions. One is that power will be transmitted from Hela through gas-powered energy through to Lae and of course to Wafigopu, and that may sort of not allow for Ramu-2 to proceed. So that's the first assumption. The second assumption in relation to that is that it's done by Dirio power. So those are two assumptions that need clarification from the good minister. If you can clarify. And the third one is, of course, the delay with Ramu-2. If there can be some light shed on what's happening with Ramu-2 for the benefit of our people. And if there's a possibility of including that as an agenda for the upcoming PM's meeting to China. We understand the Chinese investor or contractor is assigned to do Ramu-2, so if that can be included in the PM's trip to China. Thank you.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Speaker, and I'd like to welcome you back to your chair. Good to have you back. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the member for Unggai-Bena for this question. First, I want to emphasize and I want to point out that gas from our Heights gas fields not yet connected to any power supply. There's a small portion that was used to power the Pogoro mine, and that is a continuing relationship. But the gas from any field in Heights has not yet been connected yet, and also the power transmission lines have not yet been linked to any source in Heights. What is happening now is that there is a big Chinese contractor using funds that have been provided to our government from the Exim Bank of China to undertake and upgrade the very old and aging infrastructure starting from Mendi, Untari, all the way to Yonki. It is a major transmission upgrade that is being undertaken by PNG Power. As most of us will appreciate, in many other countries or in all countries, power transmission grids are reviewed and changed every 5 years or so. Unfortunately for our country, and especially for PNG Power, none of that has been done over many, many years. So what you have, those big transmission towers and lines are more than 40 years old. And they're inherently risky and dangerous, and they can actually drop down anytime. So it has been incumbent upon our government to take steps to fix it, and that has been done. We were able to obtain a loan from the Exim Bank of China, and there are two phases to this project. The first phase has been completed from Mendi all the way to Hagen, and the second phase has been started from Hagen all the way to Yonki. And then from Yonki to Lae, there's another contractor which is working on it now. It's funded by the Japanese contractor, and they are doing work from Yonki to Lae, and I think most of you have noticed work being done there. So to answer the question, no gas is being extracted, and no gas will be used to power this energy. All we are doing now is to upgrade and change the existing major transmission lines, and to enable power or energy source from either Yonki, or even if eventually when you do get some gas from gas, to be able to transmit gas, so that if there is a disaster in Yonki, we can have redundancy from Heights, so that the country continues to have uninterrupted power. If there is a redundancy from other sources like Paund or even Heights, if it does come on board later on, then Yonki will power the entire region. So it is incumbent upon us as a country or government, a responsible government, to make sure that there is uninterrupted power from two sources. But to emphasize this question again, no gas from heights will be used in the near future to supply our part of this the country, the islands region. We are relying heavily on the Yonki system, and much upgrade work is being done, and that is why Lae is facing a lot of issues, because the traditional supply from Yonki is being affected due to ongoing upgrading and rehabilitation work being done. Eventually, and we think Yonki will come back to full commensurate production next year. Lae will have full complement of power available for it to be used, complemented by the other source from within Mori province itself. In the case of the Ramutu, I must point out that even when Ramutu does come on board, that will still not be enough to provide power for Lae Highlands region and also Medang, due to the increasing population, the expanding cities, and additional business activities which are likely to come on board. So you're looking at a population of nearly 4 to 5 million people living in that corridor. So even when Ramutu comes on board, there will still be a need for additional power sources. So we can still continue with our efforts to look at additional hydropower sources, even from Finsavan, for instance, or there may be others, even from the Chimbu province. We must all work together to make sure that we have a lot of hydro sources available, so that we can then feed our increasing population and factories and developments and even the mines that will come on stream. So in the case of Ramutu, to answer the question, there are processes that we have to follow. The issue of a guarantee is just one of the many boxes that we need to tick. And Treasury is now evaluating. We must also understand that Treasury has a responsibility to make sure that whatever arrangements we have do not necessarily expose our country to unnecessary risk. So they are doing what is expected of them, and we expect them to give us an answer. If they're able to issue the guarantee, then there'll be one box that has to be ticked. And then we also have to work together with the Wafi Golpu mine and see the energy needs. And if they are satisfied that power from Ramutu will be able to meet their needs, they will then make a commercial decision based on their interests. There are a different public or private business entity. So if all the right boxes are ticked, of course, Ramutu will be a goer. So we have the issue of guarantee. If once again, if Treasury does issue the guarantee, then of course it will be incumbent upon our government and of course our Prime Minister. If it is appropriate and if the guarantee has been used, no doubt he will then be pushing for our case when he visits Beijing. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.